Welcome to Korea Spicy Bunny Stories.
I watched my mother-in-law strip every piece of galbi off the bone, one by one, into my husband's bowl, into my father-in-law's bowl, and then she grabbed my wrist when I tried taking one myself. With your hands? Slow down. Then she dropped potatoes onto my rice instead. And honestly, that was the moment I realized this woman had been starving me for months.
Hello, my spicy bunnies. You know what's crazy? Sometimes toxic people don't scream at you. They don't insult you directly. They don't even fight with you. Sometimes they just smile, while quietly making sure you get less. Less attention, less comfort, less food. And honestly, that almost made it creepier. Because for 6 months, I kept wondering if I was imagining things. Until the galbi incident. Let's get into it.
I'd only been married 6 months. That's it. 6 months into marriage, and I already felt weird every time my in-laws invited us to dinner. At first, I couldn't explain why. Nothing dramatic happened. No screaming. No obvious insults. My mother-in-law was actually very polite. Too polite, honestly. My husband's sisters had both moved out years ago. Then my husband married me and moved out too. Suddenly, the house felt empty. At least that's what they kept saying. So they downsized and moved 15 minutes away from us. That was mistake number 1. Because once they moved nearby, family dinners became constant. Every weekend, sometimes twice a week. And slowly, something started bothering me. Not enough food. Not literally, but somehow, every single meal ended with me eating the leftovers. The first time I noticed it properly was at a pork bone soup restaurant. The food had just arrived. Huge, steaming pot. Meat falling off the bones. Everyone hungry. Then suddenly my mother-in-law touched her ankle dramatically.
Oh no,
My husband looked up.
What happened?
my ankle's acting up again.
Then she turned to me.
Can you help me to the bathroom?
Of course, I said yes. I got up immediately. We walked slowly to the bathroom. She came out. Then, instead of returning to the table, she sat at an empty table nearby.
I wanted to ask you something.
For 30 minutes. 30 minutes. She talked about literally everything except anything important. Her old neighbors, TV dramas, recipes, weather, her ankle again. Meanwhile, I kept glancing toward our table, watching my husband and father-in-law eat. When we finally returned, most of the meat was gone. My husband looked guilty.
There's still noodles.
Noodles. I ate noodles and broth while everyone else looked full. Then my husband suggested ordering more meat. His mother immediately sighed.
Oh no, let's just go home. My ankle hurts.
And that was it. Dinner over. I went home hungry. Then it happened again. And again. At the sashimi restaurant, she suddenly remembered something in her car.
Can you come help me find it?
Sure. We spent 20 minutes searching bags. When we returned, almost all the expensive sashimi was gone. I had rice and spicy fish stew. At Korean barbecue restaurants, she constantly sent me away from the grill.
Can you grab napkins? Can you ask for water? Can you get more lettuce?
Every single time I returned, the perfectly cooked meat was gone. Always. At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I was too slow. Maybe I was overthinking. Maybe this family just ate aggressively. But honestly, after 4 months, patterns stopped feeling accidental. I finally brought it up carefully. Not emotional. Not dramatic. Just calm. Do you notice your mom always pulls me away when food's ready? My husband frowned.
What?
She keeps distracting me.
She's probably trying to bond with you.
During every meal?
She likes you.
I stared at him. Then why am I always the only hungry person leaving dinner? That shut him up briefly, and honestly, I could tell he didn't fully believe me. But he started paying attention, at least a little. Then came the galbi dinner, the one that completely changed everything. We were eating at my in-laws' apartment. The galbi smelled amazing. For once, my husband actually helped me. When his mother suddenly stood up saying,
Oh, I need to show you something.
my husband immediately said,
Later. Let's eat first.
I almost smiled. Finally somebody noticed. We all sat down together. Then my mother-in-law disappeared into the kitchen. She returned wearing plastic gloves and started stripping meat off the bones. Fast, efficient, professional almost. One piece into my husband's bowl, another into my father-in-law's, another. I waited. Nothing entered my bowl. I actually thought maybe she'd simply forgot. Then she finished, set the empty tray down, and sat. My bowl contained rice. That's it. Rice. So I reached toward the platter myself, and suddenly, she grabbed my wrist.
With your hands, slow down.
Then she dropped potatoes onto my rice.
Eat these first.
The table got quiet, and honestly, something inside me snapped completely. Because suddenly every single dinner from the past 6 months made sense. This wasn't accidental. This woman had been quietly feeding everyone except me. The drive home was silent. Dead silent. The second we entered our apartment, I turned toward my husband. You saw that. He sighed immediately.
She didn't mean anything by it.
She fed everybody except me.
She probably assumed you grab your own.
She literally stopped me from grabbing my own.
She was joking around.
With a dirty glove?
She was serving family.
I laughed once. Cold. I'm your family. That shut him up immediately. Then he tried again.
You're taking this too personally.
No, I said quietly. I think you're refusing to admit your mother treats me differently. My husband rubbed his face.
You're making this into something bigger.
No, I said. She already made it big. Then I walked into the bedroom and locked the door. The next morning, I called my mom. Not crying, not screaming, just exhausted. I explained everything. The bathroom trips, the errands, the missing food, the chestnuts. My mom stayed quiet for a long time. Then she said,
Okay,
that was it. Just okay. Then,
so stop waiting for permission to eat.
honestly, that changed something in my brain instantly. The next dinner invitation came 3 days later, and this time, I came prepared. The second meat finished cooking. I grabbed it immediately, straight into my bowl. My mother-in-law blinked.
Oh, slow down.
I smiled politely. I'm starving today. No apology. No hesitation. Then she tried sending me away again.
Can you grab more napkins?
I looked at the grill, then looked at my husband. Honey, can you get them? He hesitated, then stood up, and honestly, that tiny moment felt incredible. Because the meat stayed exactly where it was, on my side. Then my mom decided to help too. A little too, well, honestly. One evening my husband sat down for dinner. Right as he lifted his spoon, my mom called him.
Oh, did you try the side dishes?
Then she kept talking, and talking, and talking. 20 minutes. By the time he hung up, the rice was cold. This happened 3 times. Finally, my husband stared at me suspiciously.
Your mom's doing this on purpose.
I tilted my head. She's just trying to connect with family. Silence. Then suddenly he laughed. Actually laughed. Short. Defeated.
Oh,
That was the exact moment he finally understood. Things slowly shifted after that. Not dramatically, but enough. At dinner the following week, my mother-in-law started standing up again. My husband immediately stopped her.
Mom, sit down. Eat while it's hot.
Then when fresh meat came off the grill, he moved the plate toward me first. His mother noticed. I noticed too. Nobody said anything, but honestly, we all understood exactly what happened.
And honestly, I still think the creepiest part wasn't even the food. It was how subtle everything was. Because if someone screams at you, at least you know. But smiling, while quietly making sure someone always gets less. That kind of behavior makes you question your own reality first. And maybe that's the point. But I don't know. The potatoes on the rice. Yeah, I would have lost my mind way earlier. So tell me, would you have noticed the pattern sooner? Or would you've kept sitting there pretending noodles were enough? And don't forget to subscribe for more spicy Korean chaos.